nation.
It's midday. Good afternoon. I'm Adeola Adekunle with Global News. In the news, twin bomb explosion hit Somalia. Mozambique replaces Kenya in United Nations Security Council. U.S. financial regulators issue warning over cryptocurrency market.
This is the news.
The Ondo State High Court, sitting in Okitipupa, has restrained Prophet Oluwanibe Ojagbonmi from parading himself as the spiritual head of the Holy Apostles' Church and the community leader of Ayetoro. The court ruled that Oba Micah Olashini Ajijo is the incumbent spiritual head of the Holy Apostles' Church, Ayetoro, and the community leader of Ayetoro. And the judgment by Justice T.M. Adedipe, the court also dismissed the counterclaim of Oluwambe Ojagbonmi. The former Minister for Works and Housing, Adesheye Ogunlewe, has described the APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a vital tool to the development of democracy in Nigeria. Ogunlewe, who decamped from PDP to APC recently, said Asiwaju has popularity in Lagos and the Southwest at large, and that he will get the support of the people based on his antecedents.
Marketing, in terms of performance, he has a lot to show. But people must know and be convinced that those achievements are real. And they are numerous. You cannot count them. But it requires skill to persuade the Gaussian to vote more. The issue of winning is not the matter at all. But which number of votes can we gather together to support Bola Tinubu? It's not about winning. Winning, to my mind, is not an issue in whatever form.
The former minister said his former party, PDP, has lost a lot of big wigs to APC, and it's a plus for his new party.
If we sit down together and we, list the members of your party who can deliver one single polling booth, and you will list 500,000 from APC, people who have political experience that can win polling units. I am part of.
Ogunlewe said the volume of members of APC is intimidating and they can't be defeated at the polls. In a bid to strengthen the criminal justice system and standardize investigation processes in the Nigeria Police Force, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered a streamlining of all police investigative processes. The move, according to the IGP, was to prevent duplication of investigation via indiscriminate petitions and transfer of cases initiated by individuals and groups who had been indicted in initial investigations as a way to frustrate diligent investigation process and truncate criminal justice delivery. The force spokesman, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, revealed this in a statement. Adejobi says the IGP gave the directive while reviewing and dealing with cases in response to complaints on indiscriminate transfer of cases from zonal and state commands and other investigative units of the NPF by operatives of the Force Criminal Investigations Department. He also said the IGP stressed that the situation had often given rise to parallel investigations by multiple units, leading to conflicting arrests of parties. At least 9 people were killed and several others wounded in a twin-car bomb attacks in a town in central Somalia on Wednesday. The official said the attackers used vehicles loaded with explosives to stage the attack in Mahas town. Militants have continued to carry out attacks in central and southern Somalia, despite recent government troops, backed by African Union forces and local militias, retaking areas previously captured by the Al-Shabaab group. And our police prosecutors in the Gambia have charged 2 civilians and a police officer in connection with last month's alleged coup plot. The 3 men were charged with concealment of treason and conspiracy to commit a felony, which they deny the charges. They are accused of conspiring and failing to report information on the planned overthrow of President Adama in October and December 2022 within the capital Banjul and other places in the country. They were further accused of being informed by an alleged ringleader of a plan to overthrow President Barrow, which they failed to report to the relevant authorities. Last week, a national security advisor said civilians were involved, with their role being to finance the alleged foil coup. The government said it has thwarted an attempt to stage a coup and arrested some soldiers. Mozambique has replaced Kenya at the United Nations Security Council with a promise to prioritize the fight against terrorism. Mozambique has been battling an Islamist insurgency in its northern Cabo Delgado province for the past 5 years. Mozambique Ambassador Pedro Comissário said the country would push for reforms at the Security Council to address African concerns. He also said the country will serve at the council as a non-permanent member for the next 2 years. Malian authorities say 5 people have been killed in an attack by unidentified assailants in southeastern part of the country on Tuesday. The attack is said to have happened where violence is rare in a country ravaged by jihadist insurgency in the central and northern regions. The victims comprised 3 civilians and 2 firefighters who were members of a civil defense force. Military ceremonies and burials for the 2 service members are due for Wednesday. You're listening to Global News on 88.9 FM, Akure, transmitting from Ilaramokin. After the break, U.S. financial regulators issue warning over cryptocurrency market. Details in the second part of the bulletin. Join us again.
The news on Adaba 88.9 FM.
Glad to have you back for news, updating live streaming. Visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/AdabaFM88.9 on Facebook, at Adaba889FM on Instagram and Twitter, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. You can provide us information via email, newsroom@adaba889.fm. And to the rest of the bulletin. An ex-funeral home owner and a mother have been sentenced to prison in Colorado after dissecting hundreds of bodies and selling the body parts. Prosecutors say Megan S. and Shirley Koch dissected some 560 corpses and sold body parts without permission between 2010 and 2018. Federal prosecutors in Colorado say the mother and daughter have harvested body parts and entire bodies in some cases for sale. Both women pleaded guilty to fraud earlier this year. Hess was jailed for 20 years while coach was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Judge Christian Aguelo describes the case as the most emotionally draining one he has ever experienced on the bench. He then ordered the two women to be sent to prison immediately. United States regulators have issued their first ever joint warning to banks over the risks associated with the cryptocurrency market. It comes just 2 months after the collapse of trading platform FTX sent shockwaves through the crypto industry. The U.S. Federal Reserve, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency said they were closely monitoring the crypto activities of banking organizations. The regulators also said that issuing or holding crypto tokens, which are stored on public, decentralized networks, was highly likely to be inconsistent with safe and sound banking practices. Banks were also encouraged to take steps to avoid problems in the digital asset market spreading to the wider financial system. Tuesday's statement comes after months of hesitancy by U.S. financial industry watchdogs to issue uniform guidelines on cryptocurrencies, despite banks inviting clearer advice from regulators. And sports, football star Cristiano Ronaldo had a slip of the tongue at his official unveiling with Al Nassr after he mistook Saudi Arabia for South Africa. He joined Al Nassr as a free agent after leaving Manchester United. Ronaldo told the media at the Riyadh club that football is different. So for him, it's not the end of his career to come to Saudi Arabia. He added that he won everything. He played for the most important clubs in Europe, and now it is a new challenge in Asia. After the media conference, he posed in his new Al Nassr kit on the club's pitch in front of thousands of fans. And now to end global news, a recap of our top stories. At least 9 people were killed and several others wounded in twin car bomb attacks in a town in central Somalia on Wednesday. Mozambique has replaced Kenya at the United Nations Security Council with a promise to prioritize the fight against terrorism. We also told you that United States regulators have issued their first ever joint warning to banks over the risks associated with cryptocurrency market. And that's Global News. It was edited by Patience Ibe. I'm Adeola Adekunle. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.